Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pick and Roll, the NBA betting show here on the Board YouTube channel presented by FanDuel. We're here for our second show of the season. We started on Monday. We had 2 games to work with for yesterday's slate, which we'll talk about in just a moment here, but tons and tons and tons of games to go through tonight. It's an exciting show to be a part of. I've got my co-host PipsNBA here as normal, and we are ready to get things going. So smash that like button if you are ready to get started. Make sure you do subscribe to the board for NBA betting shows like this now every weekday morning, as long as there are games to talk about. We're here live at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time on the YouTube channel. You can also catch us in audio form in Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you may get your podcast. But again, this one is, as always, this season. Thank you so much to FanDuel for sponsoring us. They are our presenting sponsor, and there's an amazing deal if you are new to FanDuel Sportsbook now. Bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets on any winning bet. If you're an existing customer, right now FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do to catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app or check it out with the link that we have in the description to get in on the action. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C. After a 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Let's get things started here. Let's talk about the games that we had yesterday, how the show's going to work for today, guys. We're going to go through yesterday's games quickly. We're going to talk about the bets that we had on the action. Then we're going to go through today's slate, see what Pips is feeling as far as bets are concerned, and then we'll hand it over to you guys in the chat. Any questions that you have for us, or if you have some bets you have down today, put them in the chat. We'll react to them, see what we think. Maybe there's one you're thinking about. Get the opinion of an expert bettor like PipsNBA here, and we'll see where we go. I'll save those. If you can chat now, you can put those in chat now. I'll save them for later. But Pips, back to the NBA. You're back to staying up very late in Croatia to watch these games. How did that go for you yesterday?
Yeah, I was up to 7 a.m., which is like I feel terrible right now, but I'll get used to it. Like so laggy and like my head's like all over the place. And yeah, I watched the Dante DiVincenzo. I had a bet on him. He hooked me with
Me too.
zero PAs in the entire fourth quarter and shooting 3 out of 11. But yeah, like fun games to start. Like it was fun to see like Boston Celtics killing the Knicks. It was fun.
Wasn't fun for me.
And yeah, and the second game was very entertaining and love to see Lakers of JJ Redick. They looked absolutely amazing. And one other guy looked amazing, part of our big SGP, Anthony Davis.
Oh,
Man,
yeah. Wow.
if this is how JJ is using him, and if this is the effort of AD, we could be in a surprise. Like it's early in the season, but I could see Anthony Davis making MVP case like top 5 spot because like offensive numbers were amazing, but that defense, one of the best defensive performances in the regular season I saw. Like this was amazing.
Yeah, when he's healthy, he's an all NBA player for sure. And if he's playing like this, he's got a chance to get into a first team. But it's if he stays healthy for sure. It did seem like with the Lakers' performance, it just felt like there was a good level of respect for JJ Redick as a head coach, for everybody involved. It just I know it's only one game. I'm not trying to overreact, but it just feels like everybody is pretty bought in to the system that he's running there. We did get the big SGP win over there. DiVincenzo finished. So we had the 10 plus points for DiVincenzo. I'll pull it up here. We had the 10 plus points. We had the 2 plus 3-pointers made. He finished on exactly those numbers. For Anthony Davis, we had 25 plus points, which he had, I think it was 36, and 1 plus 3-pointer made, which he had exactly that. So 3 out of 4 of the legs, we get exactly what we need. So we'll count it as, it is low numbers. We'll count it as 1 on the hook counter because it was 3 on the big SGP. So positive hook for us there. If you had DiVincenzo just normal lines, you would have gotten hooked like me and Pips did. But for the show, if you tailed the show, you got a winner over there. Unfortunately, the other play was a loser on Tatum assists. It lost relatively quickly. I mean, so somebody tweeted at us like he's already got 5 assists in the first quarter. We had the under 5.5. This closed at under 4.5. Like, I think it was a good number here, but in the end, the Celtics had a generational shooting night. Every time Tatum made a pass, they knocked
I'll
down the
say
three. Yeah,
we overestimated the Knicks defense. They were
for
completely
sure.
terrible. Also, didn't help that Celtics shot 8 from 8 on 3-point attempts when Tatum passed the ball, which is absolutely insane. Yeah,
What
never
would be
seen that
normal?
stuff.
Probably like 3 of 8 would be normal there.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Maybe
So
4.
still gonna lose, but yeah, it was insane. I mean, he was getting in going, and so they started sending doubles on him. When you have Towns blitzing the screens, that defense won't sustain.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to talk about the Knicks a bit because, I mean, on defense, they look bad. They played deep drop coverage against the Celtics. Basically, if the Celtics wanted an open 3, they got it every possession. The Knicks on offense could not create with passing. It was just an ugly ISO ball game with, like OG. It's not good. Like if OG gets chased off the 3-point line, he can't create. Mikal Bridges' jump shot looked absolutely broken in the first half, was better in the second half, but that looked concerning to me. Basically, like if the Knicks were going to score, somebody had to create their own shot, or Deuce McBride had to hit a ridiculous shot. And by the way, Deuce McBride was fantastic. If he wasn't, this would have been like a 50-point blowout. It's only one game, new guys. How worried would you be about this performance from the Knicks' perspective?
I even spoke about it on the show. I said like they'll need some time to
Yeah,
figure stuff out, and I was a bit surprised to be this bad, but not surprised that they have struggles. Also, historic shooting night from the Celtics didn't help that day. It looks even better, even
ring night.
worse.
The vibes were good. Tough.
Yeah. And also, this is the worst matchup for them on the offensive side this early because they don't have shot creators. Like it's Brunson and that's it. Like
Yeah,
team with I had some concerns with team, like 3 starters being Hart, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges. Hart can shoot. Those other 2 guys can create their own shots. They are like spot up guys. That's the best role for them. So you have only Branson being able to create, and Towns is Towns. Like he'll try to post up, he'll get double, he'll make a turnover. So yeah, it will take some time, and
yeah.
they need Mikal Bridges to figure out shooting because they'll need him in the second role and a
I
creating role.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
won't be super concerned about the starting 5. I will be concerned if Jericho Sims and Campaign have to get regular minutes throughout the season. Those are not NBA rotation caliber players. They just aren't,
Yeah.
honestly. So we'll
While
see.
Mark
I wouldn't
McBride,
panic.
yeah.
Horrible matchup to start the season. Boston Celtics on ring night. Bobby Turner in chat says don't underestimate Knicks defense. It's game 1. This is going to fire up Tibbs. Well, he shouldn't play drop coverage again. I know it's the Celtics, but and also some people
It, it's
roasting
it,
Bridges' shooting.
it's
Mikal
really
Bridges
tough
like a
not to play.
go ahead, go ahead.
It's really tough not to play drop coverage when your biggest Towns.
That's the thing.
You can't do much else. Like maybe some like on the screen level is like the best you can get from Towns, and then he's in foul trouble very quickly if he's up there.
That's
He'll
true, but
hook players and do stuff stupid stuff. So yeah, yeah,
not much would have worked, I guess, against a
yeah,
team like
yeah.
the Celtics. But
I think Tips is playing cut in drop coverage to save him from fouls because if he's foul trouble, then Sims is playing, which is terrible. So could be that.
yeah, yeah, I agree. We'll see how it looks against a team that's not the best team by far in the NBA. Devs1996 says Mikal Bridges shooting like Bill Cartwright. Alan Churn says Mikal Kid Gilchrist. His jump shot reminded me a lot of Chris Boucher, just the catapult over the head. It looked the free throw he took. I think it was early second half. He had
Yeah,
a free throw, and his form. I could not believe how bad it looked. Ah man, I don't know who
I'll
broke that
say
jump shot.
I'll say second half. Even though like of course he scored a lot, but it's not only that, but he changed the form at the halftime.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he went from like delay in shooting to like first three. When he came back, it was smooth. So I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck was he doing like entire summer, and then change it, and then it started working. I think he was 6 from 8 in the second half on the all the shots like mid range and threes. So I think he'll be good. I think he'll like figure it out. Like we know that he can shoot. Like it just people are messing up with his shooting form over the last 2 years. I think he'll figure it out.
Question from the chat says, "You think Hukporty will get a chance while Mitchell Robinson is out?" Honestly, he thinks he may be better than Sims. I don't think right away, but if Sims still isn't playing well, they may try something. I mean, I think the next strategy is just OG at the 5 before we go there, but
That works.
something to
Yeah, I
consider.
think against like 90% of the bigs in the second unit, you can for sure OG. Be sure the OG can lock them up. Also, Achua will get back, and then you'll have like probably Achua at the 5 for like 10 minutes, 12 minutes a game, which is okay. Yeah.
Scary. I've seen too much of his defense. I don't really like it.
Yeah. I think like it's a fair statement, but compared to Jericho Sims, I think he's way better.
It's true.
Like the
That is
floor is
true. I
like
would take him over Jericho Sims. That's a good point.
yeah.
All right, I think it's enough on the Knicks. We'll keep monitoring them, but let's get into the slate today. We're going over to FanDuel to see what we've got for odds today. We'll have a quick word on all the games. We may not spend too much on a lot of these games, but first of all, we got the Pacers and Pistons. -5 is the spread for this one. Over/under is at 235.5. Out the gate, Pacers coming off of a conference final appearance. Pistons probably going to be another tough season here. Any comment for this game?
Yeah, I think sharps are very value Pistons way more than most of the people, and I agree. I
Agreed.
think they are better than 26 wins. Yeah, yeah. I think this like if they are valued at 26 wins, this line will be like 7.5. And yeah, I think minus like I think this is a I think Pistons will be a good team and they'll be competitive this season. And I only hate that they have Malik Beasley and Hardaway as their like small forwards on the team, which is like I hate both of them. But overall, I think they'll be good. They'll be good. I think
They
Ivy
won't
steps
be
up.
good, but they will
Kate
be
steps,
maybe better
uh,
than expected. They won't be
yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, good. What's considered good? I think if they win 30 games, they are good. So
If they win
yeah,
30 games, they should throw a parade. Honestly, that's a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
Big game.
about betting on this game, I think I could work out on some big single parlay straight in this one. Pace will be high, lot of points. The total is not set. I think where it should be, and I know I'm not betting total, but I think like the lines compared to the total are not set properly. If that makes any sense,
Hmm.
so we can work out on some things, big seven game parlay straight away on this one.
Let's do it.
Although for the points, you can open up the points. I'll just say the stuff. Player points. You can click on the player points. So
Oh, okay,
I'll
my
bet
bad, my bad.
the
Yes, yes.
regular line.
All right.
I can even like let's do Siakam. Let's do Siakam first under 22 and a half. I can share the screen just shortly why I like this for Siakam. And let's go back to this game. Siakam. I hope guys you can see this.
Yep, yep.
So I think he'll be like playing not some crazy minutes this season because they are just so deep, the Pacers. So when we look at the games where he's playing like 30 to 36 minutes with Halliburton Turner available in the regular season, he covered this line only 6 games and average 20 points. So I do think this line is like 2 points off. I think it should be 20 and a half. It's not like I trust so much on defense of the Pistons, but this line is just way off. And I think their defense will be average this season. So yeah, I think this number is it's kind of high. So I'm that would be my first leg. The second leg will be Jaden Ivey, 15 plus points. I think he was the most impressive player in the preseason. So I think this is like the best matchup probably in the league when you playing the Pacers.
Yeah.
So yeah, this will be my third leg. Second leg, third leg, we can do Tobias Harris 10 plus points. Like I know it's minus 600. I think I think he will be one of the most consistent 14 to 16 point scorer in the entire league. Like every night, you know what we are getting for him: 30 minutes, 10 field goal attempts. He'll score like 12 to 16 points every night. Perfect matchup for him. They won't double his post ups, isolation stuff, and he'll get some looks. So I think this is it. And the last leg of it is Kate Cunningham, 6 plus assists. He
All
had
right.
some crazy assist numbers in the preseason, and I think like looking at his last season numbers, he finally has shootings around him. So there are some targets to hit. And in preseason, he had 6 assists, 6.5 assist average in 20 minutes. He's playing 36 minutes, and we are getting plus 303. So I think this is a good bet for this game.
All right, there you have it. Plus 303 for this one at FanDuel. It's Pascal Siakam under 22.5 points. Jaden Ivey 15 plus points. Tobias Harris 10 plus points, and Cade Cunningham to record 6 plus assists. Again, that's plus 303 at FanDuel. Good question came in earlier from Don Bucko asking if all the plays will be on FanDuel. We're going to be using FanDuel to go through all the bets that we have on the show today. However, you guys know us. We always preach line shopping as well. FanDuel is a great sports book to have in your arsenal, and there are oftentimes very, very good prices available there. But always, for any bet that you make and every bet that we give on the show, make sure you're line shopping as well to see what the best price out there is available. Again, oftentimes that will be at FanDuel, but if it's not, you've got the opportunity to bet elsewhere as well. We built it out here with Pips' plays to plus 303. Also, a quick word on that. There's 50 to 60 people watching. If all 50 to 60 people bet this right away, FanDuel is going to adjust probably relatively quickly to adjust to a new line just to kind of protect themselves on the early action. If that ever happens, there's an opportunity likely in about half an hour's time for that line to go back up to where it was at the time of the show. So if it gets blasted and, the Tatum bet goes like from the first show, the Tatum bet got hit quickly or the SGP got hit pretty quickly, it did go back up after the fact, so keep an eye out later in the day. This one, I still see it at plus 303, so plenty of time for you guys to go and catch that there. But again, line shopping is always your friend. Let's go to the next game, and it's a big one. It's a big one. We got the Bucks and the 76ers. Really interesting test at the start of the season for two of the top teams in the East. What, you're shaking your head, Pips. What do you got to say about this one?
I mean, it will be interesting test, but Paul George and Embiid are out, so like this is like
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's
You're right.
I'm actually surprised the line is only 3.5. Like they don't trust Doc Rivers or what. Like these teams, I mean, 76ers team, like who's going to score points for them? Like Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre, Eric Gordon, Drummond. This is insane. So yeah, I definitely lean on this, like betting on Bucks to cover 3.5. No Paul George and Embiid. Like first, the best and second best player, probably like third best player, are out on team that doesn't have much scoring. Healthy Bucks, looking good. I don't know. Like this is a huge surprise to me to see this line. I don't know what's your opinion on this, but
Well, no, I mean, I don't think Middleton's healthy, right? So, Bucks away, they're definitely the better team.
I think people are
This
down
this is
on
a
Bucks because
confusing.
of the last season. But we
This is
had
a
like
confusing line.
not great Giannis, really poor Lillard season, uh, coaching change middle of the season, uh, not no health in the playoffs, and suddenly everyone is like out of Bucks. I'm not like they can win the East like if they're healthy. Like that's like it's Giannis and Lillard together with some decent players. Like it's not like they are. It's insane to me that people are not even counting them as like top four teams in the East. That's crazy. I mean, it's Doc Rivers, like of course, yeah, that's my doubt as well. But this is a good team, like really good team.
I feel like a lot of sharper people that I know kind of really like the Bucks this season. I'm not super high on them. However, geez, minus minus 3.5 here. Who's gonna defend Giannis today? Who's gonna stop Giannis today?
Drummond. Yeah, probably
Drummond.
Drummond. Like,
You
yeah.
okay? You think so? Yeah, the 3.5 is a touch confusing. I remember last year the Sixers are a bit deeper than last year. The Sixers were really bad last year without Embiid playing. This is like what's going to be the starting five? Who's going to start today? It'll be
But like all three games they played last season, Bucks and 76ers, all three won by Bucks, and the average spread was 10 points win for the Bucks. So now no Embiid, no Paul George. I don't know. Like, uh, who you ask who will be starting for the
was
76ers?
Lowry. Does Lowry get start? Maxey, Martin at the 4,
I
Drummond at
think
the 5.
it will be Maxi, Lowry, Oubre, Martin, and Drummond. This is like not even a playing
Dude,
team.
that's a 35 win team. I'm not
Maybe,
joking.
maybe. I think like Pistons are on par with this team.
You think 35 is too high for that team?
Yeah, 30, maybe. Like
Yeah,
like
I
let's compare
minus
like this.
112. Not the best
It's,
line out there. However, it's
they
one of the
have
better ones.
projections
By the way,
have Jabusel and KJ Martin playing 25 minutes as the as the seventh and eighth guy.
with all due respect to those guys, I know Yabusele had a great Olympics. Those guys are not. To be fair, I haven't seen a lot of Yabusele in the NBA. He wasn't in the NBA last year,
I, I, I
but
I need to
I've seen KJ Martin. I know you have as well. This
I need to
is.
run French names before the show with you so I can pronounce it well.
I knew you meant at least. I knew you meant.
Yeah.
No Batum anymore as well. Yeah. Are you willing to? Do you want to make this a pick for the show? Or are you not a fan of the
Yeah,
spread for
I'm
the
not
show?
betting spreads for the show, but if I were, this would be one of my top picks. Yeah.
I feel pretty good about this one. It's an official pick
If
in my
if
book, not for the
if
show.
Doc Rivers wasn't the coach, this will be an official bet. But it's probably priced in the line. So
All right, let's speed it along here. Let's go to my Raptors in action against the Cleveland Cavaliers. No RJ Barrett, no Kelly Olynyk for the Raptors. A couple other guys missing as well. Those are the key guys that are out for Toronto. Spread here is 6.5. It is at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Over under set at 225.5. Any thoughts for this one, Pips?
yeah, this is just a low spread. I think I don't know actually. AJ Barrett being out is like negative or positive. I don't know. I'm not. I don't think he's a positive impact player, so I don't know. But
RJ Barrett's a
yeah,
positive impact player. Not a year ago, but he's RJ Barrett's a very different guy.
compared to his substitution on the Raptors, I can agree with that. On some like on most of the teams in the league, I don't think so. So that's my opinion. I'm really low on Barrett. He
I
did play
was
well last 20 games for the Raptors last
30,
season, and
30.
that was like an impactful player. But I'll rather look at the entire career of him before that and say that he wasn't. So yeah, if he continues playing like this, okay, I'll change the mind. I'm
Fair
changing
enough.
my mind. For sure. Yeah.
I would say invest in your RJ Barrett stocks because he looked fantastic for the Raptors last season. He had an effective field percentage above 60, which is he typically like a 47% guy at effective field percentage. It was 60 plus. He looked the same at the Olympics, and he looked the same in his. He only played one preseason game, but he looked the same there. So I'm optimistic, but as for the spread here, it's an away game. I think if Cleveland are home, this is probably closer to double.
And you don't know what to expect from Cleveland. Honestly, I watched the preseason games. I couldn't figure out. They played zone, they played drop, they played switch, they played all kinds of stuff. So I don't know what they are going to do. You can open up maybe like the points lines for this game, so you can comment on your Raptors players because I know you can say stuff on that. I don't know if you took any bet for your Raptors on the points.
I mean, I don't want to pass post.
not
I
official
took.
play, but like let's just comment on stuff.
Okay, I'll scan the board. So I do have a Scotty Barnes over on points today. I got him at 20 and a half. It's now 21 and a half. So I wouldn't take the 21 and a half. The line's been kind of shaped up over the course of the day. I also have Donovan Mitchell at 25.5 today. I got it at a better price than this. I'm going to see what's out there right now for his points.
Uh,
Again,
just
it's
like
probably a bit too high to take at this point. I got it a little bit lower, but so many
I
chat
got
here. Sure, go ahead.
earlier, I got earlier quickly under 22 and a half because he didn't look healthy in the preseason. Is
That's a
that
good
something
bet.
like, yeah, I don't know. Like I expect him to have lower usage, and I do remember last season that Cavs were really good at against pick and roll ball handlers. Don't know,
Yeah,
like if I knew that they are playing the same kind of defense as they did last season, I would bet this even at 21 and a half. But it's too much unknown, so I'll stay away. Need to watch at least one game from them. But yeah,
yeah.
I
This
think
this is
I think
Go
Grady
ahead.
Dick would be a good bet here over on points. I will not make it an official bet. As I say, I don't know stuff,
Bit
but
too high for
uh,
me.
yeah, with no RJ Barrett, more minutes for Davion Mitchell, who won't shoot, who is like ultra low usage. So quickly will look to pass more. Cavs are wide open, leaving wide open corners. Most of the like I think they lead in the preseason with most wide open threes from corners. So yeah, I think Grady Dick could be in spot. It's a sophomore player. I don't like to bet it. So yeah.
It's a touch high for me. David Mitchell wasn't open when I last checked. David Mitchell points are up here. Um, eight and a half. Eight and a half's too high. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't like.
He
He
doesn't look
doesn't
to
shoot.
score.
He doesn't like. He won't go on the inside against like a normal team, let alone a team that has Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. He's really reluctant to shoot threes, so he's pretty much got to make three threes for this. I mean,
Even
if he
if he
doesn't make
makes
three
yeah,
threes, I
yeah,
don't think he's going to hit this line, and
yeah,
I don't think he's making three threes tonight.
yeah. I
Okay.
also think that yeah.
I like this position on David Mitchell. All right, I'm gonna run with this on David Mitchell. You don't need to make it for the show, but this is too like
Yeah,
from what I watched from David Mitchell in preseason, he's so passive as a scorer. Just no real
yeah.
desire to
That, that
try and score. He's been playmaking well, defending well. He has no desire to try and affect the offense, though.
yeah. That was part of me saying like that I think the Grady could be a good bet because he will need to shoot because Darian is not
David
looking
Mitchell
to shoot
won't. You're
shoot
right.
quickly. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing only. Like
Yeah.
Jacob won't have much inside against Allen and Mobley, so it's only down to like Scotty and Grady. So I think this could be good. And also,
Question. Okay, go ahead.
Cavs are running really high pace. Just saying, like Cavs are playing very high pace compared to the last season. Huge increase in pace against under the Kenny. So more points will be scored through transition and stuff.
We got a comment here from Schuiler. Hopefully, I said that right. I like Strivon's over 7.5 rebounds. So my comment on Barnes' rebounds this season, it's first of all tough matchup rebounding wise, of course, with Mobley, Allen involved. I have to wait and see what his position is because I think today he's going to be a big point of attack presence defensively. I completely disagree with that utilization of Barnes. However, Dark Rajakovic, Raptors head coach, has spoken a lot about that as his positioning. So last season, if you look at the season on a whole, I think he averaged over 8 rebounds per game. But for half the season, he was deployed as like the help defense 4, where he was averaging close to 10 rebounds a game. Yeah, last season holds 8.2 rebounds. But when he was shifted into this more point of attack defense role, which he's already been, the coach has said he's probably going to be in that role again this season, which again, I disagree with. His rebounding fell down quite a bit last year when that happened. I imagine that's going to be his role for today's game. So I'm not super confident in a ton of rebounds for him until I see what sort of role he's going to be deployed in there. So we'll see.
This matchup could be different because if he's not defending Evan Mobley, then who is defending Evan Mobley? Like
Yeah, you're
Agbaji?
right. It could be different today just because needs must with the Cavaliers. I don't disagree
Yeah,
there.
I agree.
Um,
Like that's terrible way to use him. But I'm looking just a matchup. I can see like
Abaji could do
Agbaji
it.
against Mitchell, quickly on Garland, Grady Dick hiding on Dean Wade, and then Scotty Barnes roaming off Mobley to just help inside, and that's perfect spot for him to be in. Like
Okay,
if they
you're
don't do it
right.
that way, I will be concerned.
I would, yeah, definitely watch the game. If like 2 possessions in, if he's defending Evan Mobley, 7.5 is a good spot. If he's defending, which he has last season, there was games where he was defending Darius Garland point of attack. Don't bet, maybe bet under honestly, but right away, start of the game, I think there's a good opportunity to find a good spot for a live bet here. But we'll have to just wait and see
Yeah, I
before
agree completely.
before
Completely
we make
agree
we make it a
in
bet.
this
We
one.
make a bet this morning. Let's switch over now to the next game on the board. Not a pretty game, but Pips' Atlanta Hawks taking on the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets probably not going to be very good this season, but the spread here is -6.5 in favor of the Hawks. Over under at 222.5. Any comment here from you, Pips? Hawks exploiting a bad Brooklyn defense. Maybe some guys getting tons of usage on Brooklyn, like Cam Thomas at 24.5 on his point line.
I don't know, like about their defense to being like real bad. I think they'll be like decent on defense, but they will be terrible on offense.
Okay.
Nets. I mean, they do have like Claxton, Ben Simmons, Schroeder is kind of okayish point of attack. Cam Johnson is a like good size on the wings, so their starting lineup is probably decent. They also have Dorian Finney-Smith off the bench. I think they are kind of looking like to be like a middle defense, like 15th best defense in the league. Do I think their offense will be like bottom five? They don't have anything for the offense, so it will be ugly. I expect an ugly game. Yeah,
Me
but I
too.
think the lines are really, really sharp for this game. Some moves like 3, 4, 5 points already from the opening. So I think this is like pretty sharp line for this game. So I don't have anything for this one.
That's all right. We got a lot of games to go through, so we don't need to spend too long on each of them. Battle in Florida here between the Orlando Magic and the Miami Heat. Orlando expecting big things this year. Miami, most people not expecting much. However, we go into the game here with a -2 spread in favor of the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one. I think it should be like even take it both sides. But yeah, I mean, away game. But I think my Magic are better team. Though we do have like some healthier version of Miami Heat, Hero Butler and Adebayo playing all the same time, and Rozier. That didn't happen for many games last season. So yeah, I think this will be a very interesting game. Obviously, both struggling offenses and both great defensive teams. So this will be an ugly throw in the mud game. So
If you love
whoever
early
enjoys that,
2000s
go for it.
ball, this game's
Yeah,
for
it
you. If
will
you
be
miss early
ugly.
2000s ball, you watch the Orlando Magic take on the Miami Heat tonight because I agree. This might be a bit of a sloppy one. I'm trying to see the Magic injury report. I don't even think the Magic have nobody on the injury report tonight. Miami
Yeah.
have Josh Richardson, which doesn't affect the spread. Yeah, I'm
This
not so
game will
sure.
be won like by like if Jalen sucks and KCP can make the open threes, they'll win. If they don't, they lose, and that's it. That's how I see this game, honestly.
Yeah, not going to not going to bet on anything here, but that's an interesting line. How much do we think Wendell Carter Jr. plays this year? A lot, I would imagine. Oh, minutes per game. I
I
can't
don't
comment on
know.
minutes per game.
Yeah, I don't. I think 25 minutes a game uh, makes sense. I hope they finally like start playing Isaac some minutes. Like to me, it's absolutely insane that they're ramping this guy. Like, okay, last season, first season that he was healthy for some long stretch. Like this season, what are we waiting for? Like, play him out, throw him out there. He's like most impactful
Well,
defensive player in the
they're
league.
trying to keep him healthy. That's the thing. If they play him a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah.
he's
I
probably gonna
mean,
get
like,
injured again.
he played like 15 minutes a game last season, 16, 17. Like, play him at least 24, like 25 minutes a game. It's not huge. They are not huge minutes. Like, so yeah, I do think like he's playing. They have Moritz Wagner at the five. They have Isaac some minutes at the five. They have Wendell Carter there. Yeah, I think Wendell Carter probably playing 25 minutes at most, and
Really,
that's yeah, yeah.
I think they should play him
I,
more.
I think he's like probably the worst player out of the. No, Cole Anthony probably is, but I honestly see Wendell Carter as the weakest link of this team.
Really, I don't
Yeah,
agree at all. What do you not? It was the defensive problems you got an issue with?
yeah,
Just that?
yeah. Probably defense only, and on the offense, he's not giving them that much of a shooting to be like I don't know,
Yeah.
like I like I don't think he's a I think he's a good player, but this team has like huge limit. They could be way better with someone else out there.
Well, okay, I don't disagree with that, but like,
Yeah, I mean,
they've Goga, they have Mo Wagner.
if you look like what does he brings to this team outside like a stretch five, like
Spacing is big, especially when you have
spacing, but he
Bankero.
shot like 27-8% in the playoffs on three attempts a game. Like that's not giving you
Well,
anything at all.
it's 37. I know playoffs he struggled, but he was 37.5 in the regular season on 3 attempts per game.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
that's good, but that's like you can look at the last couple of seasons before he shot 33%, 35, 30, 30. So yeah, I don't know what's the real
What's the real
number
one?
here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I'll
fair
say
enough.
like 35 on like four attempts a game, which is not moving the needle for me. Like looking like the impact other players could have on this team. Like I think at five is like tons of like way better for this team.
Let's move on here. I think we're halfway through the games. Reminder: I see a bunch of comments coming in on bets. Well, we're going to save those for later. So keep putting them in the comments. I have them saved aside, and we're going to go through them after we go through the games here. We have the Bulls and Pelicans. Let's try to we're running a bit long. Let's try to speed up a little bit on the games here. We have Bulls
Yeah.
and Pelicans in action. Bulls
I'll
transition here.
not say much on this. I'll just say this will be a very high-paced game. Really interesting to see Pelicans playing Herb Jones at five against Vucevic. I don't know how that's going to look. Some
Herb
injury
Jones at the
stuff.
five. I'm going to say won't look good. You know what?
I
Sorry.
think
When they say Herb Jones at the five, what they're really saying is Zion's playing the five, except we're not going to outright say that, so he's not upset about it.
yeah. So I agree. Also, DeJounte Murray and Zion are questionable for this game. Zion missed the practice, so he could be out of this one. Bulls are absolutely terrible team, but they are actually increasing the pace to suit it like Giddy play style, which will be terrible as well. So yeah, I don't know what to expect from this game. If Zion and DeJounte are both playing, this is over on points. That's it.
All right, Charlotte Hornets against your Houston Rockets. 7.5 spread in favor of the Rockets. Alperen Şengün, Jalen Green, fresh off new contracts. Charlotte probably won't be that good, but they probably can win 30-plus games and be somewhat in the mix for the play-in tournament. They can be, but how do you feel about the 7.5 spread, 229 over under, or any props here?
I bet this under 236 and a half. So I already have like 7 points
Well,
moved. Yeah,
don't bet. If you want to bet, don't bet 229. Just put
yeah,
that out
yeah.
there. The price is
I
gone,
think this
but
is still a bit too steep, but I think they like 227, but I won't like to make this any bet. Like I already have the volume, so it's not tough for me to see. But Rockets defense will be really good. So I really struggle how corners can efficiently score in this one. I do have some look. I won't make it official bet, but it's interesting look. You can put out my props madness on the screen just for
yes.
one guy that has an interesting line here, and that's Nick Richards. Mark Williams is out, so Nick Richards they're playing Grant Williams at five as a like small guy against Steven Adams. That's tricky. And they'll need to play Nick Richards a lot of minutes in this one to contain Şengün and Adams. So if you take a look when he's playing like 24, he's starting. So when he's playing 24 to like 34 minutes, he's crushing this line. Like 16 and a half points and rebounds, he's crushing this line. So yeah, I think like I think 24 minutes is floor unless he gets into some foul trouble or I don't know, God knows what can all happen. But I think this line is I think it's 16.5 almost plus 100 on FanDuel. I think if you shop around, you can find 15 and a half because uh, other soft books are not on point with FanDuel with this one. So at 15 and a half, this is a certainly a play. At 16 and a half, this is a lean over because I don't know what these Hornets are looking going to look like with no new coaching. But I think the numbers in the matchup is great for Nick Richards here.
All right. So you're saying points plus rebounds for Nick Richards. You say 15 and a half?
I think it's 15 and a half somewhere. I think I saw it on other
Yeah.
books. So
Yeah.
that will be my play for sure. But a 16 and a half is just only a lean, like interesting spot to check out.
Well, okay. To be fair, the 16 and a half is low juice. Here we got minus 102, but there are 15 and a halves out there. Would you say a 15 and a half would be an official play?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think that's a good spot.
Okay.
They
All
don't
right.
have
Yeah.
anyone like very difficult matchup for bigs over like Şengün and Adams. There are a little not many guys in the league that can compete with them. Grant Williams is certainly not one of them that can rebound next to Adams. Adams will have 10 offensive rebounds if he's matched up with Grant Williams. So I do think like they need to play a lot of minutes for Nick Richards. So yeah, I think with good minutes he's crushing this line. So
Okay. 15 and a half. Okay. We can make 15 and a half an official play here. Half there's minus 130. Is that acceptable?
yeah, that I mean that's similar to minus 102 at FanDuel when you look at like overall, but I think a little bit better at 15 and a half, minus 130.
Yeah. It's probably pretty neck and neck on that.
Yeah,
Minus 120 out there as well. Okay, we'll go with that. Bob M in chat put in we can run with minus 120 for this one at 15 and a half. But minus 130 is acceptable. If you don't want the juice, I'd say minus 102 is pretty similar to minus 130. I would say that's also fine
yeah.
from a math perspective. So uh, that is what we will run with for that game, as I just marked that down. All right, let's move to the next game we have up here. We got Memphis against the Jazz. Memphis probably going to be a lot better this season. Jazz probably going to be another not so great year for them, but the spread here is at -3. I'm interested to see how the Grizzlies look. First of all, with Zach Edey, rookie center, and also just after such a bad season last year, how they're going to look with a healthy team, a healthier team this year.
Yeah, I like -3 here, even though Jaren Jackson Jr. is out. I think they're a much better team than the Utah Jazz, even though they are on the road. I think they are trying to set the tone with the season opener that they are sure, like they are proud guys. They will play really, really hard to like compete because Gia Morant is back and they were kind of off the big highlights last season. So I think they are looking to like go back and show everyone that how can they be one of the contenders on the West. So yeah, I think they could win this game easily. Should I don't like I like the Utah coaching, but some of the guys on their team are not that good. So yeah.
Couple more.
About the betting side, I do have a play on this one
Oh, let's
as
go.
well. Yeah, I can I can show the numbers because he didn't play much last season, but it's Brandon Clark over 8.5 points, -128 at FanDuel. I'll play it up to -130, but it's like -115, -120 on some other books. but I would play it like up to -130 over 8.5 points because I don't know if you guys can see on the screen,
Yep, yep.
but Jaren Jackson is out. And with that said, Clark is playing like 22, 24 minutes. And when Brandon Clark is getting those minutes, he's completely crushing this line. I think if I take a look at the last couple of seasons, I can show you on the Prox Madness, but last season he played a couple of games, 4 games when he played like last season he averaged 11 points in 22 minutes. And the season before when he played 20 plus minutes, he averaged 14 points. So yeah, whenever he gets 20 plus minutes, he was scoring like 10 to 12 points. So 8.5 against Utah Jazz. Terrible defense, especially in the second unit when Kessler is out. When they put Collins at the 5, I think Clark can run circles on Collins on defense. And yeah, I think this is a good bet overall.
All right. Yeah, good. So position here for
I can
Brandon
show you
Clark.
like I can show you like on Prof Man, just one thing, like a quick thing on Brandon Clark. Uh, so he's scoring like he has some floating shot. If you guys know who Brandon Clark is, he is like one of the first guys that like have that 5, 6, 7 feet away floater shot over the drop coverage defender, and you can see 54% of his points are from the paint but non-restricted area. And last season, Utah Jazz allowed almost the most, second, third most of those points. And he scores most of his points as a pick and roll man. And Utah Jazz allows a ton to pick and roll man. So this is a really great matchup overall. And then considering the numbers a bit better with Kessler on, and when Kessler sits up, that defense is terrible. So yeah, I think overall this is a great spot for
Yeah, so -128 for the over 8.5 points for Brandon Clark at FanDuel. Again, shop around for better prices if you have those in your region. All right, 2 more games to go here, and then we can move on to the chat portion for today's show. We'll try to be a bit, unless there's plays, will be a bit quicker. Golden State at Portland here. We have the line here set at -5.5. Over under set at 222. Any thoughts on this game?
bunch of unknown. Just let's say it like I don't know, bunch of unknown both sides. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a word on the Warriors this season. I'm interested to see how Kuminga performs with what should be a bigger role. I think that this has the potential to be a bit of a breakout year. Well,
Yeah.
that's something I'm monitoring.
Also, Brandon Ponjemski to see
Yeah.
how like this he improved because he had some interesting tools, and honestly, they have projected him to be out of the rotation, but Moses Moody is a great player. Like it's really a shame that he's not getting minutes on the team that's not that great. Like they didn't make the playoffs. Like he should get more run. He was probably their best player in the preseason, averaging 16 points in 20 minutes on good shooting numbers. He's always a good shooter. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward. Like I think he's a great guy. I think he should play more, and I hope they give him a chance. So I'm waiting to see.
So just checking in. We've got 60 people watching. We've got 28 likes on the stream so far. If you're watching, you're enjoying, please make sure you hit the like button. It really helps support us, drive us up in the YouTube algorithm. 3 official picks already given out, plus an additional 2 that I'm personally taking, plus tons of great information coming at you. The show has been absolutely loaded today, so please support by dropping a like, subscribe if you're new. Final game on the slate. It's a big slate, so not every show will be this long, but Suns, Clippers, Suns -5 here. The Clippers are depleted by injuries. The Clippers are at home for this one, though. Over-unders at 224.5. Yeah, last game here. Any thoughts?
I'm really high on Suns, so I just need to see how their defense looks like. On offense, I think they'll be like top 3 offensive teams in the league. I really think they're a really, really good team on offense. Everything makes sense. Defense is completely like off the books. They don't have almost any plus defensive players in the starting lineup. So it's and they have Norkic at the 5, which is terrible on its own. So yeah, I really make. But Mike Budenholzer can't do some magic in the regular season. He did some great stuff with the Bucks when he was the coach. He's probably one of the best regular season coaches. He did have issues with playoffs adjustment, like every single time. But in the regular season, he is a guy that can put the good systems that can run smoothly and win so many regular season games. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do with this team on defense. But on the numbers, it it's moved a lot already, so I won't share any bets. But I think Zubats could be up for a decent game. And one guy, especially for the Clippers, is Kevin Porter Jr. This team is so bad offensively that he could be their like second offensive option. And preseason it did certainly look like it. He didn't shoot well, but he did create for others. He had I think 4 assists a game in some limit. Like yeah, he had 4 assists a game in 16 minutes. So if he gets in 26, 28, we can expect like 15 and 5 for Kevin Porter Jr. I mean, if Kevin Porter Jr. is your second offensive option, you are screwed. But I don't know. It could be like struggle for Suns on defense, so this game could keep close. But I did bet Suns at minus 3.5 earlier, so I did do lean like on Suns to cover the spread still.
All right, that'll do it for the slate today. Let's move into the chat Q&A portion. I'm seeing the feedback. We're trying a new format this season, so appreciate all the feedback here. With the graphics, it's just honestly, it's just really tough to do it on the fly. So I'll be a bit more specific about which picks are official picks over the course of the show. And at the end of the show, I will have a graphic up on screen showcasing what the official picks of the day
I
are.
I
But
will I will say like I think those comments are mostly from the guys that just want to jump in on the show, move like to the last 2 minutes and take it out. I mean, I do understand like it's okay to do it sometimes, but we do also appreciate if you guys could watch at least some
yes,
part of the show.
I just I agree. For me, there's not really much winning there. It's just people are just looking for picks. I don't mind recapping at the end of the show, but as far as like along the way, it's not like usually last year for the show, the graphics, I did it within a minute right before the show started because we're going through all the games and sometimes we find bets along the way. I won't be able to do graphics during the show, but end of show, I'll have the recap up on screen. I will cape to that one. No problem there. And
You can
also
also
people
put
that are
some links
watching,
out there. We can also
sorry.
put some links out there. We can put even the links out there as the links we had during the show, just so they can see like maybe they throw some in fun bets or something.
Yeah. We talk about leans as well. Sometimes people will feel strongly enough about that they'll bet it themselves. I bet on some stuff that you're not making official for today, but that's like we're trying to, for the show today, we're trying to grow the show a lot more. We appreciate all the support 100%, but this format here, we think will really suit audience that wants to go deeper into the betting, not just quickly dumping out free picks and to prolong kind of the viewing experience of the show. But all the feedback is very much appreciated. Let's go to the chat Q&A portion here. First, Bobby Turner asks if you're rocking a Bronny jersey. I don't think it's a Bronny jersey. Who's on that jersey? You got a Zubac Lakers jersey or something?
This is my guy, Kobe Bryant. I'm not a Lakers fan. Don't worry,
Kobe.
guys. It's just like Kobe is my probably like not just basketball idol, like overall mentality and stuff like that shaped my character over the years. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Kobe Bryant as a guy on and off the court.
Quickly on Bronny, I think Redick did such a good job yesterday. Gave him the 2 minutes into the first half so that people would shut up about the LeBron thing. It's just
Yeah,
here, put him in, shut up. He's not going to be playing a
yeah,
lot, but we put him in. Forget about the when is he going to play with LeBron. He gave them their moment. I think that was, because when I heard JJ Redick say we're going to get him in some capacity, I'm like, JJ, like you, what are you doing? You're better than this. But then I saw it happen. Like, okay, he just wants to put this to bed. I think that was a great decision there.
yeah.
Um,
I think we'll be like overall really positive on the JJ Redick as a coach. Yeah.
so
And
far
imagine
so
if
good.
imagine if he made that three. Like the building will explode. Like, oh,
I was so close to betting his under 1.5 points when I saw that he was going to play. I was so close to betting his 1.5. I'm like, if he plays garbage time, they're going to force feed him a layup. I can't bet it. In the end,
yeah.
he took a few shots and didn't score. So I would have won. But yeah, in the moment, I was like, I can't quite go this far. Appreciate all the kind words on the show. Jay is loving the show in chat. Bob M, Jam, Bobby Turner, thank you so much. We appreciate all the feedback. Whether you think things could change, or whether you like it, always great to hear for you guys as well. Going through, let's go to one of the bets that we have here. Chance W asking about Bam Adebayo 3-pointers. I believe it was 1.5. Let me just double check
I
on
think it's
that.
like
It's
plus
0.5. Sorry.
130. Yeah.
0.5 minimal juice. Minus 113 to FanDuel. What do you think?
It was plus 130 earlier, so I think people just slammed it. I think out of any team in the league, I think betting over on threes against Orlando Magic is the worst. Some teams will play drop coverage and he'll be wide open, so he'll take them. This game, I don't see him being wide open. They'll switch everything. They'll be always, they are not giving up threes. So, like, I will actually love for him to be under this so he can bet it again later when he gets the better looks. So, yeah, I would never bet. If it's not a huge plus money against Orlando Magic, I'm not betting it. I don't see an edge at minus anything.
I was wrong. It's actually off the board at FanDuel, so I'm wondering if it's been blasted, and that's the reason it's off the board, as you
Good
said.
bet in better matchups. Good bet probably later in the season in better matchups. This early on against team switching, I don't think so.
It could actually play into your favor here if he doesn't hit a 3 against Orlando, because you might see the price go back up for the better matchup. I'm not sure who they have.
Yeah.
Let's look who they have next. Miami play Charlotte next, so
Yeah, Nick Richards
opportunity
in
to look
deep
there.
drop coverage. Yeah. That could be better, way better.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So definitely monitor that one. Roman in chat asked about Jalen Johnson, 24.5 points rebounds. Over 24.5 points rebounds for Jalen Johnson. You like that
Good
spot?
bet. Yeah, that's probably a good bet. Yeah, I liked it that number. I
See
think
what
this
it's at.
number is different on FanDuel. Could be wrong. Yeah, 25.5 juiced for over on FanDuel. I think
Well, it's
that
possible
should
that the
be.
24.5 isn't. Let me see if the 24 is up anywhere.
Yeah, it is on Bet365 as I think he said Bet365 with 24.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, it's up. I just checked.
Okay.
I have it open. Like Props Madness. Yeah.
Not to be specific, but 24.5 is out there. That's a good spot relative to market. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice bet there.
I have him as a bet on the most improved player. I do expect him to average like 20, like upper limit is 20 and 9 for me this season, and Nets are a good matchup for him. So yeah, I think this could be a good bet.
Another one from Roman asking about Andrew Wiggins, 18 plus PRA. Let me see.
I saw that couple of times. I saw that couple of times on Twitter on guys sharing it. I think it's a good bet. I think there is no reason for him not to have like better season than the last season with all the issues. Now that fortunately we know all what happened, but it's probably easier for him to like now to deal with it. If you look at the last season when he played 28 to 32 minutes, he was over on this line in 83% of the games, and it's a good matchup. So yeah, I do like this. I do like this over on Wiggins. I didn't even know that number is at 17 and a half. I expected 18 and a half. So
it's starting to move up to 18 and a half.
Yeah.
It's probably going to close at least 18 and a half. So if you have a not so high juice on 17 and a half, that looks like a pretty good spot to me. One from Frankie Rodriguez here. Do you guys think Giannis has the most points and assists? And asking about Lonzo Ball minutes. His threes are 2 for plus 180. Just gonna double check on the lines there, but I think Giannis gonna have a good game. We talked about that with the Bucks, but any thoughts on Lonzo Ball and his 3 number, because he's gonna be getting some spot up opportunities.
Yeah, he's going to have looks, but he's going to play less than 20 minutes. Just putting that out there, and he'll only shoot completely wide open threes to not risk anything early. So yeah, I do think in the preseason he averaged 2.5 makes in 50 minutes. I expect him to play like 18 minutes. Well, that price could be a good
Plus
bet.
180.
Yeah. I like he can shoot like 2, even if he takes only 4 threes, 2 from 4 is like probably like 35% chance for him to hit 2 when he takes 4, and plus 180 is better than that. So I think there is a value in that spot. Also,
Yeah,
Pelicans will need to double Vucevic inside, so probably be really bad against spot up.
It's
Just
currently
thinking
off
out
the
loud.
board at FanDuel, but there is 176 out there, 180 out there as well. I think he'll get around 20 minutes, and if so, I think he's gonna. I don't think plus 180 is the correct price for that. I think it's a good spot. I do think that's a good spot.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I mean, it should be like plus 140.
Yeah, I agree. 150.
Maybe 150. I'll say 150. Yeah.
I'd say 150. I think plus 180 is solid there. Let's go through any last ones here. I'm trying to just trace Jackson Davis. This is acronym. I know I've never seen his name acronym before. I was just working out of my head. Trace Jackson Davis on the Warriors. Any thoughts on him for his points playing against DeAndre Ayton?
Yep. Last season, I think they blitzed Steph Curry on every possession, and every pick and roll, and he'll play many more pick and rolls this season compared to the last season. And when they blitz, I don't trust Portland to make good rotation. So I think he could have like a couple of putbacks on lower guards when Ayton is out there, and some wide open layups after missed rotation. So I think this could be a good bet. I don't know the line, but like matchup wise, I think
it's minus 106. Pretty much across the market, it's between minus 105 and minus 110. So the market is.
I think I will bet
content with this price.
Points in rebounds. Prefer points in rebounds. If it's like 13.5, I think that's a good bet. Overall, I'm positive on his matchup 14. If he's getting like 20 to 25 minutes, I think there is a value in this matchup.
Yeah, there's heavy juice 13.5s out there. FanDuel's moved to low juice 14.5.
I'm always saying this because like I remember last season they hunted down Curry so badly. They didn't change the coach. They have probably worse backcourt defense, so they'll need to chase him even more. So makes sense for the days and tricks days.
Okay, final question, and then it's been an hour. We do have to wrap up the show today. Roman asks, "What's your opinion on Christian Braun MIP?" I'll go first here. I just don't think I think there's a lot of really good players up for MIP this year, and Christian Braun is just not going to score enough.
Yeah, that's not on my books. Even like if 5 players of Denver goes down with injury.
With all due respect, I don't know if you've bet him, but
man.
With all due respect, he's just not going to score enough compared to like Wemby's in the mix for the award. Jalen Johnson in the mix.
I made like on Twitter, you can check it out like a couple of weeks ago when I did my MIP. The criteria is very clear. If you are not scoring 20 points at least a game, you are almost like 0 chance to win. Like, you need to increase for like 13, 14, 15 to over 20 points to be like considered in criteria.
Yeah, you could definitely make an argument that guys like Wemby, who just won Rookie of the Year, probably shouldn't even be in the mix to win an award like that, but he will be. NBA voters, that's how they're probably going to vote. So just that's something to absolutely take note of. But I think that is all for today. Pretty loaded episode today, but we hope you guys enjoyed all the information we shared, went through every game, went through your chats. Go ahead.
put the recap on the screen for them to see,
I
and
have it
we are
ready.
good to
Yeah,
go.
I've got it ready.
Yeah.
Official picks recap for today's show. Hopefully you watch the show. Hopefully you don't just skim through to the end, but I get people are working. Maybe you just want to look later. But the official picks recap, a big SGP started us off today. It's Siakam under 22.5 points. Ivy, 15 plus points. Harris, 10 plus points. And Cade, 6 plus assists. Got that at plus 303 at FanDuel. As always, shop around to see where the best price is available on that one. For Nick Richards, over 15.5 points plus rebounds, minus 130 or better is good to take for this line. Pips feels as though he's got a strong night coming up against his Houston Rockets. And the final of the official picks is Brandon Clark over 8.5 points, minus 128 or better. That minus 128 was available at FanDuel. But as always, for every bet you make at any time, make sure that you are shopping around. As for other bets we talked about, I like the Milwaukee 3.5 enough to take it. I'd say minus 112 is at FanDuel is fine. If you can find better, obviously it's better to take that. And I had one more. I'm trying to find it. David Mitchell under 8.5 points, I think is also a good spot. You're getting that minus 110 or better. Yeah, I just don't know how he's going to score 9 points today. He doesn't want to shoot threes unless he's wide open. Even then, he doesn't really want to shoot. He has no rim pressure. I like that spot there. I don't believe he even crossed that in preseason. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you did enjoy, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe. We're going to be live every weekday morning. As long as there are NBA games, we are here weekday mornings on the Board YouTube channel, presented by FanDuel at 9:45 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be back tomorrow morning to recap how things went for us today, how things are going to go for us today, and go through the slate tomorrow for even more bets and even more analysis. Thank you, everybody. Once again, we will see you again next time.